Ha ha! Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Why are institutions subtly paying attention to XRPFi? Because with Flare and EBI, you're looking at Treasury yield fully on chain with XRPN to XRP yield out. No bridges, no bridge maze, no custodial gymnastics. Tonight, I'll show you exactly how this flow works. Why a company like EBI, Everything Blockchain Inc., would opt into it, and what this unlocks for XRP holders and DeFi builders. If you want a clean path to institutional grade yield, this might be the moment. Drop Flare in the chat and let's get into it. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to each and every one of you. What an exciting time to be an early adopter in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. Listen, my friends, I'm telling you, you and I, we're playing a game that 99.99% of the masses don't even know is being played. And we are winning. We are winning, my friends. Again, happy Friday to each and every one of you. Do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. That would be really, really awesome. You know how we do? We like to have just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream. I'm refreshing the live stream here just for a second. Make sure that the chat is all good. The microphone is all good as well. Yeah, man. What an exciting time. I didn't even realize it's Friday. The week just kind of flew by. Guys coming by to do the landscaping and stuff reminded me that it's Friday, and which is not their usual day that they come by, that they usually come by. So let me get my favorite libation here for the day. Get going. I appreciate you guys big time. I think the stream is finally going to update for us. Yeah, man. Flare Networks, I'm telling you, is becoming the go-to blockchain for yield for sure. Rupert said, "Am I first? You are indeed, bro. Welcome to the live stream. What up with you, man? Life is good. Life is good. I hope my guy Pookie checks in today. he shared a he shared a video on X that I was just what I ended the live stream. That's exactly what I was talking about yesterday when they ended the live stream about interest and debt and mortgage and loans and the yucky the yuckiness of it all. We'll get into that as well. Listen, the market is doing what the market does. Interesting time to go over the numbers. I guess I'll probably make I don't know, 108. Feels like a good, take a little uh entry into BTC, but I made 3, 4 purchases of BTC this month. It feels like we'll look at it and see before it gets back up to something. We'll look at that, get little small purchase, $50 or so, just to say we added to the BTC stack. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, guys? Yeah, again, happy Friday. Welcome to the live stream. Flare Networks is killing the game. I hope people are paying attention to it because for me, all the boxes are checked for Flare Network to go up and to the right of the network adoption curve, thus adding value to the price of the FLR token, the underlying asset of said blockchain. It really is as simple as that. New wallets, new holders of the FLR token, new projects hopping on the blockchain, which is the most important one in my opinion, right? More useful things for holders of assets to do things with, and hugely important. So, yeah, excited. Absolutely excited for you guys. Got my latest book that I'm on right now, man. This one is a good one. I guess this is the third one of the series. So far, I got them all. I have them all. You know how we do, Rupert. You know how we do. You know how we do. Rupert says so much institution demand. Very exciting stuff. Indeed, it is. Really, really is. Now, this latest one is a memorandum of understanding. That's cool, a little MOU, but I get it. But yeah, I'm gonna share it. We're gonna get into that. We'll talk some more about that as well. Man, again, happy Friday to each and every one of you. I just refreshed CoinGecko. I'm wondering if I should just get on Kraken and make a little purchase before we lose this below 110 price, before we lose it. And when it says 108, before we lose it, I feel like I just should. 4,300 for Ethereum. What to do with the little dirty, nasty fiat? Buy more Bitcoin or buy more ETH? I think BTC. I really do. But we'll see. I mean, ETH is outperforming BTC right now. Yeah, maybe it's ETH and not BTC. I already made my BTC purchases. Maybe it's just straight ETH. Maybe that's the plan. We'll see. I'm thinking out loud again. But all right, so I refreshed CoinGecko. Let's go over those numbers real quick, Rupert. And so we can go over this market and get into the news today. Share the screen. Yeah, I'll just share the screen. I don't need to share it with sound right now. All right, let's go to CoinGecko real quick, fam. According to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is 3.83 trillion. It's down 3.3% in the last 24 hours. 3.83. Yeah. Bitcoin dominance. I got rid of my Bitcoin dominance chart. We can look it up real quick. It's not hard. Let's go BTC.D trading view. I don't know if it's quicker to do it that way or just go find it on my thing. All right, let's go here. I'm sure I have a bookmark somewhere. I don't know which one would have been quicker. All right. 58.25 Bitcoin dominance. So we're still trending in the right direction, which is a downtrend for Bitcoin dominance. That is exactly what we want. So that's exactly what we want. Now let's just do this. ETH, BTC, trading view. Let's see if that works. So make sure Ethereum is still on the uptrend, right? We want to check that as well. We'll make sure Ethereum is still outperforming Bitcoin. Let's check that. Look at the full chart here in a second. 0.399. That seems like it still is. Let's go. Keep that uptrend. These are daily candles. Every candle is a day. That's what we want to see. Let's check this out and see what's good. Yeah, so there we got it. It started sometime in June. Started sometime in June. Some say it started here, but in any case, that would be May. Ranged, and then finally broke out when we needed it to break out. It did it. And on the daily, these are all daily candles. Nice 6 or 7 days up, then ranging sideways for about 9-10 days, then 8-9 days ranging up. A little bit of a downtrend trend here for the last few days, and then from the 20th onward, 24th, and then a little ranging here, right? So it's trending up. It's definitely in an uptrend. This is what we want. We want ETH to be outperforming Bitcoin. We want the Bitcoin dominance to be downtrending, and it's downtrending. So we are all good. All right. So what's going on? Oh, got Carl Billy's in the building. What's going on, Carl Billy's? All right. So let's go back right here. Back to CoinGecko. Everything is looking good. All right. Bitcoin is trading at $108,472 again. On the 30-day, Bitcoin is down 8%. Ethereum is trading at $4,346 again. And on the 30-day, Ethereum's up 14%. Let's see. XRP is trading at $2.83 again. And on the 30-day, XRP is down 10%. Solana is trading at $203. And on the 30 days, Solana is up 13.7%. This is that phase two to phase three here, where you get the a layer one starting to make us run, starting to make us push, starting to trade higher or outpacing other than Ethereum, a layer one other than Ethereum, outpacing Bitcoin. Looks like Solana is the one making that move. Let's go check out Sui on the 30 day. Sui is trading at 3,027 cents on the 30 day. It is not outpacing Bitcoin, but on the 30 day, it's down 13.4%. So, goodness gracious, did Kronos move like this just because of this announcement with crypto.com? And goodness gracious, maybe it did. I don't know. It's interesting. Kronos is a $9 billion market cap token. Amazing to me. But there it is at 27 cents. That's interesting. But it's up 90% on a 30 day. It's interesting to see things move when they do move. It really, really is. The OKB token, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, there it is, fam. That's the market. And the market is just simply doing what the market does. Let me say hey to the fam that checked in. Appreciate you guys being here again. Happy freaking Friday to each and every one of you. Carl Billy's checked in and said, a lot to teach this 60-year-old fella. I hear you, Carl Billy's. I hear you, my friend. We're in the same space, bro. We're in the same space. Trey's in the building says, hey, CJ, looks like Flare is setting the stage for BTC Fi once XRP Fi becomes a huge success. So much FLR TVL coming down the way. That's exactly correct, Trey. I said Tay. I hope I didn't say Tay. That's exactly right, Trey. That is the play. This is 1000% play because with the XRP community, not only do you get the TVL and the market cap and the volume, but you get an amazing community that is completely engaged, sharing the word, spreading the word. It's a great, I don't want to say it's a litmus test, obviously, but it's a great way to showcase the blockchain, showcase the robustness. It's a great way to do it. An absolute great way to do it. And every time we turn around and we keep increasing trust because we're sticking to a crypto ethos of true decentralization, true scalability, true security. Every time we do that, every day, each week, each month, we do it. Showcase the robustness of the chain. The Bitcoiners, without question, will participate. Without question. Because they're the ones who are on that true crypto ethos, okay? You understand? They're the ones who are on that true decentralization, scalability, and security. So, yeah, it's a great point, Trey. Great point. Great catch. Rupert says this all season is dragging his feet to get started, but FLR demand is going nuclear with or without it. 100%. 100%. That is correct. Appreciate you guys being here. We're going to go over this article in just a second, but we're in a blessed position. Like I said in the start of the stream, we're so early. One of the things I say on the channel all the time, Trey, is if you're fortunate enough, blessed enough to be early to a next level, doing things on a different level, layer one blockchain, if you're blessed to be there early, I think of the CASPA community, KASPA. It's a blessing. And if you're patient enough, if you're focused in on the ecosystem and you're dialed in to the ecosystem. In other words, are you playing around in SparkDex and Kinetic, Enosis Global? Are you tuning into the spaces? Are you watching YouTube interviews? Tuned in, right? Building your conviction, tracking and paying attention to the growth of the team, the growth of the ecosystem. These in the TradFi world is called doing due diligence. That's what that is. If you're doing those things, you can strengthen your resolve, continue, build your conviction, and know when you take your dirty, nasty fiat, perhaps you know what it is that you're investing in because you're on a journey of becoming a sophisticated investor. And part of that is doing your due diligence, knowing what you hold. So yeah, it's pretty cool. That's the opportunity that I see here. That's the opportunity that I see here. And just a reminder for the people in the back, FAssets is just the entry level. It's entry level in terms of the capability of protocols coming to Flare networks being built out. It's entry level. You understand? It's entry level. So it's a pretty cool deal. It's a pretty great position to be in. All right, so let's go over this article here real quick. I don't want to cover this. It is Friday, and I want to make sure I get through this, share what I can with you guys. Let's see. Let's cover a couple of posts here to remind some people before we go into this article. More markets got to get the big deal, and what this is really about. Philippe from Flare, head of DeFi, I guess that's relations at Flare, mathematician and programmer, said it best. Key thing here: more markets didn't have to build custom bridges or custodial workarounds. They tapped into Flare Network's native infra for XRP yield, easy, efficient, and not fragmenting the ecosystem. Connecting different ecosystems is the only way to make a whole thing better than the sum of its parts. Flare abstracts, takes away the complexity so that institutional partners can focus on yield strategies rather than building infrastructure. The future of blockchain is in solutions that are simple to use, but still harness the full power and security that blockchain can offer. I did a post on X about, did I do my post on X about this? I have not done my post on X. Stay tuned for that. I haven't put that post out yet. Post thread on X about more markets and Flare. You definitely want to tune out for that. Make sure you follow me at crypto_CEEJ so that you get that all lowercase. All right, so another thing here real quick, cover this. Thanos from Flare Network says more markets will have a dedicated vault that will, I think he's had a DeFi at Flare, right? Yeah, DeFi Flare. More markets will have a dedicated vault that will utilize Firelight and Flare's DeFi protocols to return yields to XRP depositors. This makes it so XRP users don't even have to put on intricate DeFi positions themselves. They can simply deposit and earn. Right? It's low-hanging fruit. That's what that is, right? It's a low-hanging fruit move, right? You know, that move is not someone who's been doing DeFi for a minute like myself, been all over the ecosystems doing DeFi. This is for people who, you know, I just want to earn some yield. You know, I'm not trying to learn Uniswap V2, V3, V4. I'm not trying to get on base and bridge over from Ethereum over to base or from Solana to base, right? Yeah, they want to do a very, very simple thing, deposit and earn, right? So great points from both of these guys. All right, let me get rid of this. Let's do that. Let's do that. Great points. Flare put this out. I thought it was pretty cool. EB, interesting. All right, so Flare, XRPFi on Flare networks is becoming the standard for corporate treasury yield. Everything Blockchain Inc., that's a company. The ticker symbol is EBZT, is a United States listed public company. and they are teaming up with Flare to bring institutional grade XRP yield strategies to treasuries. By leveraging FAssets and Firelight, Everything Blockchain Inc. will stake XRP on chain while keeping compliant and letting users retain self custody. It's a big deal. You can read more here. And here is said article. Flare expands institutional adoption as Everything Blockchain Inc. joins XRPFi standard for Treasury yield. Yeah, it's a big deal. Another institution. It's a big deal. Second public traded company embraces Flare's XRPFi model following Vivo's Power's $100 million deployment. Flare, the layer 1 blockchain for data and interoperability, announced today that Everything Blockchain Inc., a U.S. listed public company, has entered into a memorandum of understanding to adopt Flare's institutional grade XRPFi, which stands for XRP DeFi framework for its digital asset treasury. Everything Blockchain Inc. expects to allocate approximately 10 million in XRP in its initial phase, with the potential to scale further as part of its digital treasury strategy. You know, the DATs. The agreement makes Everything Blockchain Inc. one of the first U.S. public companies to deploy XRP in a compliant yield-bearing structure, joining NASDAQ-listed Vivo Power International, which committed $100 million in XRP to Flare's ecosystem earlier this year. Together, these moves demonstrate XRPFi's growing momentum as the emerging institutional standard for corporate treasury yield. XRPFi represents Flare's vision for establishing an institutional framework around XRP, transforming the traditionally non-yield asset into a productive treasury tool. It's important to get it. Again, I believe that Flare Networks and the Layer 1 EVM blockchain and the team behind Flare Labs are further along in bringing value to XRP holders than anyone else out there. At the core of this framework is FAssets, you know, that kind of bridge, that protocol thing that is the elementary move, just the beginning. According to Hugo, not even the 10 in the top 10 best thing that is coming to Flare. At the core of this framework is FAssets, Flare's trustless bridging system that provides smart contract functionality to non-smart contract assets like XRP and Bitcoin. By leveraging FAssets and Firelight's protocol, Flare's decentralized restaking layer, Everything Blockchain Inc. intends to convert XRP into FXRP, then allocate it across decentralized lending, staking, and liquidity protocols. 3 use cases. This is what we do in the Crypto Seasons home. Lending, liquidity pools. All right, we do 2 of those with XRP. So you understand? It's a big deal, fam. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Shout out to Flare Networks for getting that done. Team over there to making that happen. Guys, do me a favor and hit that like button on the way in. If you didn't get a chance to do so, no worries, my friends. Just collapse the chat real quick. Go smash that like button and come back and hang out with the Crypto Siege and family. Pretty cool. Let me do this live chat here. So make sure this chat's up to date. Appreciate you guys being here. What's going on, Jerry Brennan? How are you, bro? Yes, I'm aware of yield on metal. Metal. Yes, I'm aware of it. Yep. Keyless is in the building. The lady of crypto is here. What's going on, fam? It's a party now, for sure. Appreciate you guys checking in. Jerry says, good. Love the content. Keep up the great work. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being in here. So I think it's important as we move forward. I want to move forward in a digital asset space as a whole that wants to stick to the true crypto ethos of true decentralization, true scalability, true decentralization. Did I say the same thing twice or no? I don't think I did. True decentralization, true scalability, and true security. Less intermediaries, not more intermediaries. More options to increase my wealth and with that framework. Within that framework. That's what I want. It's not the highest APR. It's not the fact that you can get yield. I want to be able to increase my wealth within the framework of true decentralization, true security, and true scalability. Without intermediaries, without custodial stuff. I want to be able to do that in a self-custodial way. I don't want the shortcut for twice the yield, but having to wrap and deal with bridges, thus having to deal with the third-party custodian because the yield is 2 or 3 times. Don't want it. Not interested. Learn my lesson. Learn my lesson. So no matter how good at the third party or intermediary looks, no matter how good, everyone sleeps on the fact that the co-founder of Celsius Network was a multi-unicorn builder. Like everyone thinks this guy was just some dude. No. $3 billion businesses. 3. Let me say that again. 3. And you would have thought, no way could this get screwed up. No way could this get messed up. No way. And it happened. It happened. And I see BitGo and Fireblocks and awesome. At one point in history, Celsius was so bigger than MicroStrategy, largest holder of Bitcoin ever in the history of crypto. Until it wasn't. And that's just the way it is. And you just got to understand it. You understand? Like, you could call it bad luck. You could call it a Ponzi from day one. You could call it people attacked and did the saw a weakness and attacked it. You could call all of that stuff. All of that stuff happens in business. In business, all of that stuff happens because the capital markets, one of its greatest strengths is the freedoms, and one of its greatest weaknesses is the freedoms. You're legally allowed to try and take a company down if you don't like it. You're legally allowed to try to take down a company if you don't like it. So that with your assets is a big counterparty risk. No one in a gazillion years would have thought that, at least I didn't think that any judge would say, oh, yeah, you know that those assets that you worked hard to get dirty, nasty fiat to buy those assets, yeah, they don't belong to you any longer. Maybe I didn't understand Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Obviously, I didn't. But that's the world. That is the world in which businesses work. And no matter how you want to frame BitGo or Fire Block or BNY Mellon or BlackRock or any of them, they all fall within United States bankruptcy laws. And their in-house policies do not supersede the U.S. bankruptcy laws. And if you get caught out there for some way, shape, form, or fashion, this is what it is. And that's the risk that you're taking. Now, if you understand that risk, cool. But if you don't, I want to help educate you on that. Rick says, Nero's checked in. How are you, my friend? Increase our wealth in digital assets outside the fiat trap. The repressive dollar is the biggest, 100%. And that's exactly it. That's exactly right. Increase our wealth. That's right. Right. We got to get out of that debt trap. Right. That the vast majority of Americans, American business owners, American corporations, and the federal government is in all four in the debt deal. Us, American businesses, right? American corporations, and the United States government, right? We got to get out of that trap, that debt. Don't tell me not in that trap, that debt trap. Right? Rupert says, I bet MicroStrategy gets on board. They almost have to. We'll see. Jerry Brennan says, I got accepted for Firelight. Is it similar to Bifrost? No, it's not similar to Bifrost. Jerry Brennan. Nope. Firelight is a different thing. Different animal. Firelight is really optimal, I think, for people in a lot of ways. And they're just getting started. Remember, Firelight comes from the people from Centura, right? Formerly known as Into the Block. They got a really, really great reputation for building great financial tools. And Firelight is going to provide, in its early days, some staking opportunities, liquid staking opportunities for XRP holders. But that's just the beginning. It's just scratching the surface of what Firelight is going to bring to both institutions and retail on Flare Networks. Really excited for Firelight. Really, really excited, bro. Oh, you mean is easy to use? I don't know, but I suspect that it will be just as easy. I got you. I got you, Jerry. Good afternoon, Cryptoism X. Crypto, is that Cryptoism? How are you, bro? Appreciate you checking in. So another institution's hopping on Flare Networks for yield and participating in XRPFi. Told you it's a sign, it's a signal. It's just the beginning. We're just getting started with that. We're just getting started with that. Flare Networks, again, Flare Network, Hugo, the team, dedicated, blinders on, bringing value to XRP holders that we have been craving for years, thus making the blockchain, Flare blockchain, thus making that blockchain begin its journey and path of network adoption. going up and to the right of the network adoption curve. As an FLR holder, which we are, we want that for the blockchain. Proving its value, proving its robustness, proving its speed, proving its security. This is what we want. Will there be hiccups along the way? Probably. It didn't stop Solana. It certainly didn't stop Ethereum. Solana's getting ready to go on a next level move. I don't know if people understand, especially in terms of the technology. I'm not sure if people understand. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. Rupert says just the beginning. Yes, sir. It's just the beginning. It really, really is. It's just the beginning of what's going to happen for sure. And again, I encourage people to know what you hold. Like if there's a Twitter Spaces, get on it. If there's a Fled Devs thing, get on it. Right? I think FLR DeFi is. I think it's for me. Flare DeFi is just the best way to learn this ecosystem. You can participate with $10, $5. Learn DeFi on Flare. Know what SparkDex and Blaze Swap, what they do, who they are. Know what Kinetic Markets is and what they do, who they are. One of the best ways is put some skin in the game to learn, right? Put some skin in the game. I'll be doing a lot more videos on FLR DeFi for sure. I love DeFi, big fan of DeFi. And yeah, I want to, do more educational videos on that for you guys so you can understand. And as long as you know up front that DeFi is a long-term game, it's a long-term game. As long as you understand that DeFi is the low time preference game. If you understand that, then you'll be good. If you're trying to get APY this month, you don't understand. DeFi is a long-term, small time preference or low time preference game. That's what DeFi is. If you get that, and you understand there's a difference between a moon bag and DeFi. If you understand the differences and you navigate, like there should be arrows go in both directions. And you know how to navigate the moon bag to DeFi, DeFi to the moon bag. If you understand that with the goal of cash flow to an expanded moon bag, an expanding moon bag. If you understand that this is a new financial system and there are quote unquote valuable assets within that ecosystem or this asset class. You got to identify what those are, right? And create a strategy around getting more of those. That's the plan. That's the plan. If you understand that and you're thinking 10 years from now, what this asset class is going to look like, what are going to be the valuable assets that not just Wall Street, but all streets covered. For me, I want to get more of those assets. You can leverage DeFi. You can leverage wind, moon, bull runs to get more of those assets. It's kind of real simple as that. What's going on, Cali Cat? How are you, my friend? Rupert says adoption is built in the Flare. I agree. I agree 100%. So, guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you didn't get a chance to do so on the way in, no worries. Just collapse the chat for me real quick. Go smash the like button and come back and hang out with the Crypto Siege and family. It really helps when we have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. So if you guys could take the chance to hit that like button, that'd be awesome. Awesome. It helps to get the channel out to more people, Rupert, who don't know that there's a new financial system, a new asset class being built right underneath their nose. They don't know. They're still hanging out in the old system. They don't know that the system that they're in is the old incumbent system. They don't know. Like they don't know. I'm gonna share this video my guy Pookie sent me just to remind you guys of one of the traps in the old TradFi system. Let me find it first. Share this with you guys before I hop off here. See if we can do this. Hit the share, do that. Share the sound. All right, so take a listen to this here. This is interesting. An American has schedule of payments for her mortgage. An American. Her payment is $5,700 a month. After over 4 years of 50 payments, that's $285,000 paid, but only $50K goes towards principal. $233,000 goes to just interest. With interest over 30 years, you're actually going to end up paying $1.6 million. That's right, 1.6 million. Her home only cost 784,000. So she's paying 1.6 million for a $780,000 home because of interest. Again, this is usury. This is a quote from the video. I want to use this to talk to you about why home buying in America is an absolute scam and why this will be the last house we ever buy in. That's her saying that. So take a listen here. So it's well worth it. It kind of reiterates what I've been saying for the last 3 or 4 weeks here. And thank God there's an answer to this madness. But if you don't recognize the madness, you just continue to be strung along like the rest of people.
12 payments horrendously just put. So my husband and I refinanced our mortgage today because interest rates dropped and it was enough to save us $300 a month. However, I have in my hands the amortization schedule, which is...
First, notice that they refinance. And that's another sales hoodwink sleight of hand. They refinanced to save $300 a month. And it's going to cost her, almost $250,000.
How long it's going to take us to pay off said mortgage and how much would go towards principal and interest each month. And I want to use this to talk to you about why home buying in America is an absolute fucking scam and why this will be the last house we ever buy in this country. So just really quick facts, it's a standard 30-year mortgage. It's a VA loan, so I didn't have to put anything down in order to refinance, and I don't have to pay any mortgage insurance, which is what normal people have to pay when they don't put 20% down. But because we didn't put anything down, I went from owing $784,000 on my home back up to $795,000. But my original interest rate on this house was 6.2%, and now it is 5.6%. We are planning on selling this house when my husband retires.
By the way, that's 6.2% refinanced to 5.6% or whatever she said. That's not the real interest rate either. There's a reason why you pay so much in interest.
4 years and exiting the U.S. So, of course, I was interested to see what will I owe at that time in 2030. And at that point in 2030, we will owe just under $750,000. So I will only have paid off $50,000 worth of my mortgage in the next 4 years. But the math ain't mathin' because my payment is $5,700 a month. $5,700 a month times 50 payments is $285,000.
It's $285,000, but only $50,000 went towards the principal. And what has happened in America as we have been hoodwinked and bamboozled and conditioned to say, oh, yeah, that's okay. That's normal. That's the way it's supposed to be. Right? Because the banks get the propaganda machines and they get their lawyers and attorneys to bake those things into the amortization schedule. They hire all the experts to get right because they own the media and to say you should go to college and get yourself in debt. You should buy a home and get yourself in debt. These are things that you should do. And what they do subtly in the background is they keep tweaking, and keep tweaking things so to extract as much money from us as they possibly can. That's what they do. That's what they do.
And if you look at the schedule, it tells you, oh yeah, you're financing $795,000, but if you kept this interest rate over 30 years, you're actually going to end up paying $1.6 million. But the biggest scam of all is how much interest they charge you the first year you own the house. And I have other videos on this. I've talked about it. Again, I put myself in this situation. It is what it is.
Anybody know why they charge you so much interest in the beginning? It's so they ensure that they get paid. Do you know how they're able to give loans? Because they take our deposited money and lend it out. And they make 70, 60, 70, 80% interest and pay us 0.01, 0.02 for our deposited money. That's how they're able to do it. That's one of the ways. So we're helping us beat us. That's what we're doing. We're beating ourselves.
The point is, I'm calling out the banks because they are fucking ridiculous. First of all, when you come to closing, we bought $7,000 to closing. They make you pay $3,500 in upfront interest. So not only are your first like 12 payments horrendously just put towards interest, but then you have to bring extra money to closing just to pay interest upfront. Now, I will say this, our principal and interest amount is $4,500, and it's our taxes that are additional $1,000, which is how we get to that like $5,700 number. Our first payment is 11/1 coming up, right? $4,500 payment, only $849 of that goes to principal. And every month after that, only $4 extra of your payments goes towards principal. My very first payment, $4,500 payment, $3,700 of that goes to interest. So even though over the next 12 months, I'm going to make roughly $54,000 in principal and interest payments, not including taxes, according to the amortization schedule, I won't even have paid down the mortgage a total of $10,000. And not for nothing. Again, remember, I was down to about $784,000 before I decided to refinance to save money. But 12 months from now, I'm going to owe the exact same amount of money on this house as I did yesterday before I refinanced. And so that just goes to say that.
Do you understand that? The refinance is the biggest hoodwink and bamboozle ever perpetuated on the American people. We've been sold a bag of lies. Why? Because we've all been conditioned to focus on the rate and the payment. The rate and the payment. The rate and the payment. Because again, we've been conditioned to go get in debt. To go get in debt. I mean, it's good news at the end of this that I'll share with you guys, but you got to understand that for the most part, it's never been our fault. We've been conditioned to do it. Sold on going to college, getting into debt, going to get a job, trading your most valuable asset, which is your time, for money in order to get further in debt and credit card debt and home mortgage debt. That is a hard, hard truth. I'm going to give you an awesome answer, solution to it here in a second.
That refinancing is also a fucking scam. Because you claim that you're saving me money, but in the end, you always gonna get your money back. And while I get to cash out my escrow account from my previous mortgage and I don't have to pay my mortgage in all of October and you're handing me $14,000, you're literally just framing it like you're paying me in girl math, but in reality, I'm spending way more money with the bank. And because we want to sell the home in 4 years, it literally doesn't make sense for us to refinance again, because even if we did with an even lower interest rate, we wouldn't be able to recoup that because most of that first years of payments would go directly to interest. So the only thing that we can hope for now is that when we get our mortgage down $50,000 down to 747, and hope that we can sell our home for maybe 850, maybe, and hope we can. That doesn't even include realtor fees and things like that. Maybe we'll be able to sell our home and leave the U.S. with $50,000 in our pocket. It is not worth it. Home buying in this country is an absolute scam.
And if it's just this country, there'll be other countries because they'll adopt the same system to make it happen. The cool thing is you can get out of that kind of debt and turn the financial tools that have been weaponized against you onto the people that weaponize it against you. There's tools in which you can do that. So I can't wait to share more. Again, I'm studying up on some stuff, I like to do. But yeah, just comment if you want to learn more about these tools to get out of the credit card debt and the mortgage debt. If you want to learn how the difference between a loan and a line of credit, home equity line of credit, or a personal line of credit. If you understand, if you want to really understand what interest really is on your credit cards and on your mortgage, and again, the difference between a loan and a line of credit is absolutely massive. That you understand those things. I'm going to be doing something here in a couple of weeks for you guys to kind of share that as well. But let me know here in the chat if that resonates with you, with that message she just shared and the message I shared. Like, does that like, yep, I fell for it too. Yep. All I did when I got my first home, we built our first home. All I wanted to know was the rate and the payment. That was it. And of course, they're saying, oh no, with that income, oh sure, you can afford this rate and you can afford this payment. That stroked your ego. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And guess what? The realtors don't understand it. They didn't know that they were part of in her words, the scam. They didn't know. They did not. And most of the people that work as employees of the bank don't know it either. Like they don't know it either. So yeah, if you, I mean, you can solve things like this in 3 7 years, 3 10 years. You can solve it and flip it around. Instead of all that interest going to them. Yeah, there are tools out there that make that happen for sure. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Hydro's in the building. How are you? Hydro says nothing down. Wow. Yeah, with the VA, you can do that. I'll do my next one VA as well. With the VA loan, you don't have to put anything down technically, but you're still going to have to bring thousands of dollars of cash to the table, just like she said, because this is what they do. So remember, the VA, no money down. So what do the banks do? What did the banks do? They get their lawyers, they get all the smart people they can buy, and they say, how do we still extract value from the VA people who get the VA loans? They write something in. You see, she had to bring $7,000 up. Why? If it's a no money down loan, why you need $7,000 in cash? And in order to continue the process, she had to pay $3,500, and they said it was for interest. Again, uh, you know, I'm doing this because And I'm going on this little journey because I think there's just too many of us who feel bad, or who are like they feel lost. I'm telling you, Rick Cisneros, I remember this like it was yesterday. I was in the air traffic control room. I was in the radar room, and I was talking with my dudes. It was like three or four of us. Like one off to my left, one off to my right, one sat behind me. And I remember saying, "Do you guys kind of feel like this?" And this is like when I was making. Not the top money. I was making. I think it was like 143,000, right? And I remember it's like 141, 143,000. I remember saying like, man, it's like the day when they tell you how much your raises are going to be after the government and the COLA and all that other kind of stuff. And I was like, it just feels like, I kept saying to my guys, man, it just feels like I'm making like 80, 85,000. It just kind of feels like this is right. You got the home going on and all these different things. And it's just like, a couple of cars, I'm like, it just feels like I'm making like 7 grand a month. It doesn't feel like I'm making 143 a year. It just felt like I was like making 7 grand a month. And this is why. And that was why but I didn't understand. I didn't understand. I didn't understand interest on credit cards. I didn't understand this mortgage amortization mortgage thing I was in. I didn't understand it. I didn't, by the way, car loans, same thing, right? I didn't understand how that interest worked over there as well. The great news is there are tools out there. There's a way to get out of that. And I can't wait to share it with you guys because we need a new 1% fam. And I mean that with everything that I am. We need a new 1% who understand that there has been a financial system created and rigged against us, and to take that message to the masses. Because not only have we discovered it, we figured out the solution to beat it, and we need to take it to more people. Old money doesn't want you to win. That's where it all started, with those few families who thought, yeah, we're going to get the masses to pay us, and we're going to get the United States government to help us do it. That was a dude or dudes who discovered that they could do that. And that's exactly the plan that they executed. Don't sleep on Rockefeller. Do your homework on Rockefeller. Do your homework. Do your due diligence. Level up. And it'll begin to make all kind of sense to you. Read on Rockefeller. Read on that money back then. It's right there in plain sight if you'll take the time to read it. And you don't become hardened to this is just the way it is for me. This is just the way it is for us. You can beat the system. You don't have an income problem. You have an interest problem. And you don't just have an interest problem, you have a lack of knowledge of what's really shredding your worth and your family's worth. Once you get that, and you get an answer and you have a plan for it, then you can take this new financial systems asset and just increase your wealth in a big time way. But we got to get out of that system first. We got to get out of that. Because I know, again, Rupert and Hydro, I know that a lot of people are going to be taking crypto if they're fortunate enough to not round trip. Okay. If they're fortunate enough to not round trip, they're going to take 30, 40, 60, 70% of the wind moon. They're going to go pay off a loan. They're going to go a home loan. They're going to go pay off cars, pay down, whatever. And they're going to rid themselves of the valuable asset, which is the digital assets, stables, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, ETH. Rid themselves of the valuable assets of the new system to go pay and participate in that old system. But what if you didn't have to do that? What if you could take your current income and lifestyle and pay that stuff off with the plan and keep your valuable assets. Grow your moon bag. And I'm not saying not take profit. For me, my taking profit will be 50% Bitcoin, 50% stables. Right? And I might use 1% to 2%, 1, 2, 3%, just to have a little lump sum, put it towards the fiat debt to help expedite, for me, something that's going to be done in less than 4 years. But I want to expedite that. I want to expedite that. Really, Miss Crypto Seas wants to expedite that. I'm like, we just went from a 30-year nightmare to less than 4 years. She was like, we could do better. Right. So, but in any case, there's an answer, there's a solution to it. And so I'm really excited about being able to bring that to you guys again. Mr. Miller says, thanks again for doing this, help keeping me motivated since 2020. You're welcome, Mr. Miller. Appreciate you checking in, my friend. Again, it's important for me. I mean, that is my thing. We need a new 1%, because what we're going to do here is we're going to build a choir to take the message to the congregation. That's my goal. Because we don't have to, I give a damn about old money. We have figured it out. We've figured a solution. We're going to take it to the masses. Take it to the masses. All right, fam. I appreciate you checking in. Check, comment debt free if you want to learn more about that. If you believe and you understand that the old financial system has been rigged against you and you want a solution to that challenge. I'm gonna hop off here. It's Friday. I get to hang out with my little baby girl. I don't think she's working tomorrow. So that'll always be cool. Love doing that. All right, fam. Do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. If you didn't get a chance to do so, oh, what's the other thing I want to say? Hit the like button on the way in. And don't forget, if you happen to be in this 55% or so of people that are hanging out, listening to and watching the Crypto Siege, if you've been enjoying those hangouts, do me a favor and consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.